Hey, it's your girl Shady Brooks, and I am back with another video. And today we're talking about dating and why don't Black women compete for Black males. So, before we get started, I'm just going to throw out my disclaimer here stating that this is a reason, not the reason. This is just my opinion, and I'm a Black woman myself, so I feel like, yeah, I kind of do fit the requirements to have an opinion on this topic. So I'm going to go ahead and state what I feel. The rest of you women can do the same thing in the comment section because I do want to hear what you guys think about this and whether you do or you don't compete. Okay, so today I was watching YouTube per usual and I ran across this Black man's channel, and I'm that type of content creator who loves to watch other content creators that don't necessarily agree with me and the things that I do regarding my life. And that's mainly because I want to see what they're saying. I want to know if they are contradicting themselves or being hypocritical, which more than likely they are, but normally these types of people are super critical of Black women in general. So I want to, keep tabs on them. Just, I guess for comedic reasons, sometimes it's funny, but. So this video I was watching from this certain content creator was talking about how Black women are complaining about competing for Black men with non-Black women. And I ran across this comment underneath this video. It was stating something along the lines of Black women, we are lazy, and the only time we do compete is when we're competing for non-Black men. And I thought that was interesting. So reading this comment made me think for myself. I said, self, do you compete for Black males? I know I'm not single now, but when I was, and when I have been in the past, was I going out of my way to compete for Black male attention? I don't think I was. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I was. And it's not because of the reasons you would think. So Black men who are quote unquote desirable or successful, the reason why some Black women, and I am going to play it safe and say that the Black women who are open like me to dating other races of men, the reason why it doesn't seem like, or lack thereof, us competing for Black men is because it's like kind of useless. And I say that because a lot of Black men put non-Black women on a pedestal. So they already have their foot in the door before we even get there. Because these men already have it in their minds from seeing their favorite artists in football, basketball players. They want to be like those people. Those are the people that they look up to who are examples of successful Black men. So it's not too far of a stretch to assume that they would want the type of women that those men have as well. And more than likely, they are those non-Black women, those women that were unattainable when they were just regular, degular guys in the hood or middle class, So when it comes down to a phenotypical looking Black woman, who could be gorgeous, by the way, she really doesn't have a good chance to get with that same Black man who's successful. And that's just me being honest. Long story short is, ain't nobody trying to compete for a color-struck, successful Black male. It just ain't gonna work. It's not feasible. Why do that when you can just date a white man who is okay with you being Black? He likes the fact that you're Black. See, the black women who are open to dating non-black men, we are already hip to game. Now, the black women who are racially loyal to black men, those are the ones who tend to complain because they're like, they feel like they're getting a short end of the stick. And I'm like, yeah, like they're not doing what you're doing. They aren't secluding themselves away from non black women for the sake of black love. They could care less. I don't know why you're doing that because it's obviously not to your benefit. But that's what they do because and it's not really their fault because that's what they've been raised to do. That's what we've been conditioned to do. I just broke away from that crap a long time ago, like in middle school. As soon as I saw a black man with a white girl, I was like, okay, I guess it's cool now. We are officially integrated. So, knowing all that I know, I just find it pointless. Like, it's not something that I'm going to go out of my way to do. Like, I don't do any type of like race loyalty type of dating. Why? Like, to my own detriment? like, it's just not, the cons outweigh the pros in this situation. And we all know it. And even those black women know it who are loyal, right? That's why they're complaining. Because when you're out dating whoever you want to date, regardless of skin color, the fact that black men are dating non black women, it won't be any of your concern. Like, that's like, okay, whatever. Because there's plenty of other men out there. They aren't the only group of men who can actually like treat you well. I got to tell you guys about this one situation that happened to me when I was in the military. I was in advanced individual training. That's for your MOS, basically your job in the military. You get that individual training for your specific job, right? So it was this black guy in there, and he wasn't a bad looking guy. I guess a lot of the girls there, they liked him or whatever. So, they would kind of like circle around him and talk to him and whatever. And I guess you could look at that as like competing for him or his attention. And I would just be sitting over somewhere else, minding my own little black woman's business, right? So this went on for days, maybe even weeks. I don't even know for sure because I wasn't the one huddled up around him, but I do know that it was pretty obvious and kind of awkward because all of the women would be like surrounding him. Meanwhile, I'm sitting at a table or in the distance, I'm standing by myself because I refuse to subject myself to that type of behavior. So eventually, this guy has the gall to approach me while I'm by myself and then say, I know you like me. And I'm like, excuse me? And he was like, I know you like me. Like, every girl here likes me. Obviously, you like me. And I didn't want to be mean or anything, but I just bust out laughing because I'm in the military, guys, and I haven't heard a good joke in a very long time up until that point. I just found it so funny that he could just assume that I liked him just because other women liked him. I'm like, dude, no. I would be around you if I liked you. It's crazy to think how he couldn't handle just one woman not giving him attention. He had to have all of the women giving him attention in order to feel validated. Like, dude, not everyone is going to like you. And honestly, a guy who is constantly surrounded by women or who is always in women's faces, like different women's faces, is so unattractive to me because you just know what kind of guy that is. That's just like a woman who's surrounded by men. You know what kind of chick that is. Like, that's just like off limits. Like, why even bother? Just wasting your time at that point. And to me, that's an example of, I guess, competing for a black man. I ain't doing that. Mm-mm. Colorist men are not the move. And it's not even just black men. It could be other races of men too, depending on if they were like colonized. Like for example, people who are from the Dominican Republic. Now, black people already know how they get down. And I'm not trying to be funny, but another situation, I was in the military, right? And it was this guy, he was Dominican or whatever, and he was like on the dark side. He was pretty dark. And, you know, I like dark skin for the most part. Like, I don't see how am I going to be dark and I don't like dark skin. That's freaking weird, right? So, I liked him or whatever. And, we would talk and stuff, but it really didn't go anywhere from there. All of a sudden, he started taking a liking to some Mexican girl with messed up teeth. And I don't care. You guys can call it shallow or whatever, but I know men are visual creatures, okay? And I know there are different standards of beauty for different people. And yes, this woman had straighter, longer hair than mine's, and she had lighter skin than me. But in no shape or form was she ever prettier than me. So I was kind of confused at why he made the decision that he made. But then I thought about, I'm like, they colorist anyway. So obviously he thought he hit the gold mine. Like, we all know that person who is of a darker complexion that think that they hit the mother lode because they got a non-black woman and she looked washed up. Like, people in her own community wouldn't even deal with her. And some people could argue, well, maybe he just liked the other woman's personality better. I mean, I would go for that if she actually looked decent, but no. And he does have a type because we are still friends on Facebook, and his type is light, bright, and ugly. We all know that man who's freaking color struck, who thinks that, yeah, this is the most beautiful woman ever. And it's like they don't date women based on personality, it's on looks. Guys care about looks first. And that is the reason why I am the first person to speak up for dark skinned women when they speak about colorism, because it's freaking true. And I am on like the brown skin side, I would say, but still, I can be affected by colorism at times. And that was a prime example. Like, it just happens. Like, I've seen guys in the military freaking try to cheat on a dark skin, a beautiful dark skin. I mean, way beautiful than I could ever be, with me. And I'm like, if you don't go ahead and freaking wife her up, this girl was so pretty, guys. And this guy was trying to play her. And on everything I love, he is in a relationship today with a girl who don't look as nearly as cute as this chick looked. Nearly. I'm like, so you are playing the beautiful, gorgeous black woman for that? Are you dumb? Like, he must have hit his head or something. Maybe he something happened when he got deployed, because the dude is crazy. He is very crazy. If y'all would have saw how pretty this woman was, he's dumb. He's dumb. So yeah, these certain black men can lie all they want and say how it's not about your skin color, it's y'all's attitudes. We already know the truth. Yeah, it is. And that's why I downright refuse to compete for a group of colorless Negroes. It ain't happening. It's never happening. I will never put myself in that position to look goofy. So yeah, the black women who are race loyal, who you feel are not doing what they need to do to compete with these other women, they're not doing it because they just figure that you're loyal just like them. They feel like you should do the same thing because that's what they've been taught. But we all know by now that men and women are raised quite differently, aren't we? Right? They'll raise women to think like, oh, Cinderella and all this other crap. You're gonna find your Prince Charming. And then they raise men like, get as many women as you want. Pump and dump. All this other stuff, right? So it's kind of like conflicting, right? So yeah, same scenario. Tomato, tomato. You just got to get with the program. Us black women who are open to, dating, that's a non-factor. Black men can date whoever they please. All right, you all. Well, tell me what you think about my video. Make sure you like, comment, and you better subscribe for more content. The more likes and subscription I get, the more content I will put out because now, honestly, I got time today.